Yo! Woo! I'm excited. Here we are. I'm Reese, by the way, from our Super Empire.
What's going on? It's your boy Sermon, sermonsdomain.com.
We have the ultimate pleasure of reviewing the whole first season of the show Empire that's on Fox. It's on Fox, right?
It's on Fox.
It is an amazing show that's captivated millions of people across the country.
Season finale had 16 million
Ooh, they're breaking
viewers.
Breaking records, bruh.
Yep.
Like, so shout out to that entire team. Shout out to Terrence Howard and Taraji P. Henson and the rest of, I mean, not to say that they don't deserve names, but, you know.
There's a lot of people that made the show a great watching experience.
Absolutely. And so I want to take the opportunity to congratulate them on an incredibly successful season. Was it 12 episodes?
Yeah.
12 episodes.
13 episodes.
Congratulations for all the records that you have broken, and please continue to be a catalyst for great black television. Not that it needs to be classified that way, but you're definitely making strides and opening up doors for individuals such as ourselves to be able to do what we do. So we definitely appreciate you and commend you for that.
Yes.
So now, let's dive into not just the season itself, but also the soundtrack as well. That's what we're talking about.
You want to talk about the soundtrack already?
Let's
do it. Let's
go for it. You lead off on the soundtrack.
Soundtrack. I already know that Reese doesn't like none of the music. He thinks it's trash.
All of it, except for the song with Charles Hamilton.
I like the Charles Hamilton song a lot. I like the fact that, you know, he has a role and, you know,
Drip Drop.
come back.
Drip Drop.
Drip Drop is a classic record. Just want to say that on camera.
No, man.
It's a classic record. Don't deny it. Meek Mill brought him out to perform the record because he knows how good it is.
Now let me say this as well. Shame on Meek Mill for bringing him out to perform that goddamn song, because the shit is...
Kendrick Lamar referenced Drip Drop on Hood Politics.
So what, man? Just because something like can be referenced does not mean that it's good. Alright? So
I'm just trying to troll him because obviously Kendrick didn't write his song with him in mind. But I think, you know, that Hakeem, we're gonna use the character names instead of their real names.
Okay.
Hakeem, you know, he's like a typical rapper nowadays. I feel he kind of fits into that. You know, he's not that good, but he's not necessarily like terrible. I feel like he's better than some of the rappers we have nowadays.
I think the song that he performed at the end of the finale, he was on stage. That song was the best that we'd heard him lyrically all season, period.
Right.
I think that was like his peak. You know what I mean?
I like the Can't Trust Him. Can't Trust Him came after, you know, he found out that Tiana was cheating on him.
Right.
I like that record because it had that aggression and it had that that No Limit sample, that C Murder, Down for My Nigga sample. I like that part. The one song that is on this project that I like the most is What Is Love. And I feel like it's the singer that we saw in episode 1 where you know, Lucius was trying to get her to bring out more emotion, and then we never seen her again. We heard this. How many artists
on that label, bro?
We heard the song in the season finale. It was playing, you know, in the background. But we never saw, you know, the actress. We never saw this singer again, and she had one of the best songs. So I'm like, Lucius, what is your priorities, man? Are you gonna push, you know, or are you just gonna let her go, you know?
So wait.
So
I gotta break out the box of the music. We gotta talk about the show.
Yeah.
Let's just break it down. The characters. You don't know who the characters are. It's Lucius Lane, who's the head of the label, the head of the family. He's the father. Is Andre, right? Andre is the oldest son. Who's he's the CFO of the company.
Yeah.
He's the CFO of the company, Empire Records. And then there's Jamal, who is the middle son. He's a singer. He's openly gay now. Then you have Hakeem, who's the youngest son, who's a rapper. All three sons are somehow intertwined in the business. I don't think any of them are signed, though. I think that was like a big thing. Nobody's actually signed to the label. They're not, at least. Cookie is the mom.
She spent 17 years, man.
17 years in the pen for selling dope for Lucius, or with Lucius. I don't want to say just for him, because she's benefiting from it too. So it's like, yo, we're both, you know what I'm saying, we're in it together. She didn't snitch, and so she did 17 years. So she was away, and now just at the beginning of the season, you get, you know, we're introducing her back into the family, fold the family, and that creates drama amongst the boys. You know, because they didn't grow up with mom. Only Andre and Jamal really remember her. Hakeem, not so much.
Well, Hakeem is the only one that really doesn't want her around. I feel like, well, Andre too. Andre really wasn't. He doesn't
really fool with her. Like
Jamal, you know, was the one that kind of opened, you know, embraced her.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have Anika, who is Lucius's ex-girl now, who's now Hakeem's girl.
I don't think they're not They're not together. They hooked up. They're not dating.
They hooked up, and then they were in the other scene as well. Mm-hmm. The next scene where he was working out, and she was talking. They were talking about taking over.
Right. So, but I don't think they're like an item or nothing like that.
I would hope not.
No,
that's kind
not
of
at all.
fucked up. So just here we are. I was not a fan of the show when I first saw the show because I thought it was filled with a lot of stereotypes. Mm-hmm. About black artists, and I feel like you can have there are shows that portray just the music industry better. You know what I mean? And I feel like the writing didn't have to be as stereotypical as it was. And I felt like this is just like a ploy. It didn't seem anything above Love and Hip Hop to me, like kind of like that television, because it was like, okay, you built your empire off of drug money. You know what I'm saying? And that was like a big thing. And now you got your son. Your sons are involved in the business. One of them's a gay singer. It's like, okay, bro.
No, I understand.
That's kind of stereotypical. You have Hakeem, the rapper, who took a piss in the restaurant, bro. And it's like, dog, like, okay, so why are we being shown in this light? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, why does that need to happen? Like,
I understand.
That pissed me off.
But truth be told, and this is just my, opinion, I didn't really look at it like that. Because I'm just looking at the show for an entertainment value. I'm not looking at, like, the deeper stereotypes. But I get, the people that aren't talking about it like that.
Right.
I personally wasn't, thinking about that. I was looking more, the writing. I love the writing. I think it's good. Right. It keeps me entertained for the hour that it's on every week, and it furthers the story. It furthers the characters too. Like
it does further the characters. Absolutely.
In the beginning, we seen Jamal trying to get acceptance from Lucius, and Lucius was more focused on Hakeem. And then by the end of the show, Jamal is the head.
He is the head of Empire now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I never thought that Andre had a chance to run Empire.
Really? Never?
I never thought he had a chance.
I honestly thought he did because I was rooting for him. I was like, yeah, Andre's gonna get it.
Andre, he puts in the work definitely, but his intentions from day one were always like off. You know what I'm saying? He always had something devious about him from the first episode.
And it's unfortunate because you see how his character developed and how he was having these breakdowns. Like in the beginning when the first few episodes or so, we didn't know he had what was it? I think he's bipolar.
Yeah.
He had a couple other conditions. We didn't know that. We thought he was just a regular person, and then.
Well, I thought the way that the story was going to develop. I knew there was going to be something conflicting about how he was and his personality with his dad because he's the white brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew there was going to be that because I knew that the acceptance thing was going to come at some point in time. It's a red herring, bro. And so you just see it coming. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with Hakeem's character. I just don't because I don't feel like he should have to be that stereotypical of a rapper. He's mad disrespectful to his dad as well. I think him amongst the other brothers has the least amount of reason to be that loathing of his dad right now. I don't think he has. I mean, Cookie hates him. That's fine. If Anika hates, for those at home that do not know, Cookie and Lucius hooked up in the episode. Anika happened to see them hooking up, and so she went. And, she didn't. I don't know if she slept with a dude. Whatever. But now they're all split, and Cookie and Nika still don't like each other, but they hate the same dude. So
they're working together to overthrow.
Everybody's working together to overthrow Lucius, but Lucius.
Right.
Everybody in the shows.
Yeah. And it's interesting because now you want to know what happens in season 2.
Right.
Because at the end of season 1, Lucius gets arrested, and we find out that
for the murder of Bucky.
Yeah.
Bunky. Sorry.
And we find out that it was what's his name?
Who, Maliko?
Yeah, his character.
Maliko's character.
Yeah.
Right.
He ended up. Well, first we saw him getting killed because of a object to the back of his head.
Got into a fight with Andre.
Yeah, and his wife, defending him, just smacked him. I don't know. When I saw the smack, I was like, okay, maybe he's just knocked out. But
I thought he was knocked out too, but you just kind of knew something.
But then you're like, oh my god.
Who said it? My guy Dalen said it. Dalen was like, when that happened, he was like, I feel like he's gonna die. He kept saying it the whole episode.
Yeah.
And you could see it going that way because he hadn't really been prominent up until that point, and then it was like every time
he just kind of popped back.
He was just kind of solemn.
But I also think it was interesting because his character is now the witness that was snitching on Lucius, because after Lucius was revealed that he did kill Bunky, he was one of the few people he was one of the few people that knew, and
he told Andre.
Yeah, you thought you just thought he would be loyal, but I mean, and you should have seen. I think at some point you just kind of would have seen it coming,
right?
Because he was gone for a while after that issue.
We came back trying to protect that secret, and then he's a star witness And he's not there anymore. He's
right.
dead.
So
did they hide the body? What are they doing with the body?
They haven't done nothing. They haven't shown what they did with the body.
Not just still on the floor dead.
It's just obviously.
Right.
But it's just crazy because now you got all these things happening for season 2. You got Andre, and his wife having to hide the fact that they killed this man. Now
they are actually having a baby. I thought she pulled the classic white girl move. And
did. I was like,
bitch, you gonna say you're pregnant?
Like really?
Like for real? But then it actually turned out she is actually pregnant. So
right.
There's that. But I thought she pulled the classic move. Like,
it did seem
I'm
that
pregnant,
way.
And everybody in the room was like, oh, come on, really, bro?
Right. So I'm interested for season 2. So let me ask you this: are you gonna watch for season 2 next year?
Yes, I'm gonna watch season 2. The finale was good enough for me to watch. I didn't think the rest of the episodes. Yeah. Raven Simone. Wait, let's talk about the cameos real quick.
Okay.
Raven Simone, Derek Luke was in the. Had a thing. He was actually had a role in the thing, but Snoop was on it, bro.
Yo, hold on. Before we continue, let's appreciate the fact that Hakeem went in on his father on stage with Snoop Dogg. That real little.
Yeah.
Bar.
Let's also appreciate the fact that Lucius knocked his ass out.
That was also a very cool moment. Back to the cameras, we also had Mary J. Blige.
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, she who has a role in the show now.
Yeah. Courtney Love had a small role.
It was cool to see her doing something.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Just anything.
Yeah.
Who else? Let me see.
I think that's it. Estelle. Did you say Estelle?
No, I didn't say Estelle.
Juicy J had a small role. Charles Hamilton and Rita Ora were
as themselves, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rita Ora for everything, just because she's Rita Ora.
And then you also have, next season we have Common and Oprah that are scheduled to be guests.
Ooh.
So,
I'm not gonna rate this on a scale of 1 to 5 either.
We're not gonna rate it. It's too much to rate. There'd be a lot of factors to go into it, but
absolutely. Yeah.
Let me ask you this:
yeah.
What is one thing that you're looking forward to for season 2? Like a question that you have that
Okay, so that's a 2-part answer.
Yeah.
One thing I'm looking forward to at any point in time, at any moment, doesn't have to be in season 2, doesn't have to be on the show or anything, is seeing Anika. Grace, is the last name Geely?
I don't know.
Grace Geely, she is so fine. And I just recently started following her on Twitter. Please follow me back if you can. At even more Subios. But I just want to see her. And she was from the Cayman Islands. I didn't know that. I know she was an island girl. And I saw her profile and it was like island gal, and I was like, ooh. Okay, anyway. So I'm interested to see next season. Multiple things. Sorry, not just
go
in.
One.
That's one thing.
Go in. Say whatever you want to say.
Okay. I'm interested to see if Hakeem actually sells any records because his album's coming out and he sucks. But there's that. I am also interested to see the dynamic that plays out between Andre and Jamal because he's a CFO,
right? And
he's second guessing everything Jamal does as the head of Empire.
Right. You kind of see him. You see Andre with the sarcasm. Yep.
But it's like he may actually know what he's doing, and I would love to see like the dynamic between Hakeem and Jamal because now he's his artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like. He wants to put out his album, he wants to do these different things, and they have a good relationship. But they're trying to take over, and Jamal doesn't know that, so it's like, what kind of dynamic is that going to, how's that going to change these relationships?
Right.
I'm also interested to see the relationship between Anika and Cookie, and how that plays out, because they have to work together now.
Right.
They just got into a fight.
Oh my God, that fight was awesome.
Yeah, it was a dope fight. Somebody was like, Cookie should be able to fight better, and I was like, she kicked her ass, what are you talking about?
Right. I think also, at some point, I feel like Cookie's gonna betray. I don't know. It could be either or, but I feel like one of them is they're not. They can't coexist together like that. One of them has a different agenda than the other.
I think that ultimately Anika. I think ultimately Anika has like the hidden agenda.
Probably.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just how they're writing her character.
Right.
I mean, she has to be that Judas character.
What about one question that you have? Probably following the season finale.
I guess the biggest thing for me, I already know Lucius is gonna get out of jail. Like we know that.
Of course, he putting up that bail money.
Somebody is. Yeah.
No, he is. This dude on the show, he's giving Jamal $100 million for a charity fund.
Andre.
Was it Andre?
It was Andre. He got the money too. Yeah.
One of the two.
Because he gave Jamal Empire. He gave Andre the charity fund.
Right.
Trust fund.
And I'm like, $100 million? Like
he gave his son he gave what's in a private jet.
Right. So how much money did Empire Records actually make? Jesus Christ. This dude is sitting on like $80 billion and
sitting on stacks.
He could just buy the judge and everybody and just
really about good. Yeah.
Like what, you want $1 billion? Alright, let me off.
I I guess one of the questions that I have, is what's going to happen with Hakeem, because I don't see him being a successful artist, and his album is coming out, and that's a big thing. It's a big thing for the label. It's a big thing for him personally, obviously. It's a big thing for Jamal also, because they have tracks together.
Right.
You know, I was interested to see like how his album coming out is gonna like change the shape of the label. You know what I mean? Again, like in all these different personal relationships, because I just see him being like a really selfish dude. And so he pushes Jamal, he encourages Jamal, but that was different because it's like, you're my boss now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's gonna be different. And then another question I have is, how many fucking artists do they have, bro? They have hella artists coming out of nowhere. And let me say this real quick. That fucking battle scene, Black Rambo and Jamal was the worst TV I've ever seen, bro. It was one of the worst moments in TV history I've ever seen.
But Black Rambo was
horrible.
What was wrong with that
Oh
dude?
my god, he was terrible.
Why are you battling?
Battling anybody for any reason.
Like,
he was terrible. But like I said, that battle, really, bro?
No, I laughed when he was singing and he ended it with the bitch part.
You got up and started singing though.
But you didn't laugh when he ended with the bitch part? Was I the only one that laughed? I can't be the only one that laughed. made me feel better.
I just thought it was corny. It was beyond corny. It was the corniest shit. Those bars that Black Rambo was spitting.
Terrible.
What, bro? The hell is this anyway?
He spit so confidently, like you just battling nobody.
Right.
There's no actual rappers want to go.
Because the battle before that, he was rapping as a dude. It was terrible too.
Right.
So it's like, you don't get like, how come they couldn't pull what they pulled at 8 Mile, bro, and get like people who actually battled?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was dope to me that they actually got actual people who actually battled. You couldn't get somebody like that.
Right.
And Hakeem raps like in real life. He's an actual rapper.
Yeah. He's not bad.
No, he's not bad at all. He's way better than Hakeem.
Yeah.
I wonder if he writes his own.
I would imagine so.
Well, he has to. I mean, you better.
Yeah. But I feel like for the show, you're restricted to doing, what the episode calls for. You can't just make, because obviously we seen Yaz on Sway in the Morning. He did a really good freestyle.
Yeah, 3 verses.
Yeah, three different verses.
He did really well. Shout out to you, sir. Yes, because I didn't think that you were I didn't know you were an actual rapper. Yeah. So, and I didn't think that you're better than Hakeem, bro.
I think one thing. My question is, what is going to happen with the whole Bunky case now that, Malik's character is dead, Lucius is behind bars. I mean, obviously he's not going to remain behind bars for long. He'll put up the bail money, but in terms of going forward with that case, I wonder what's going to happen. Will he ever get, that justice? Even though he tried to extort him for the money.
Oh, that's yes, you're absolutely right. Another question I had is, how is that going to play out? Because that case situation, because Andre killed, essentially.
Yeah.
He killed, Malik Yoba's character. So it's like...
Yeah, because more than likely, if anything happens, he's going to take the fall for it, because he doesn't want his wife to take the fall for it.
But here's the thing with that, like, they're going to dig into that and they're going to find out that you were the last person he was seen with.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can't even say that he gave it information, because now it looks like you killed him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't just disappear off the face of the earth for no reason. So I'm just interested to see how that goes.
Okay, one more quick question.
Go for it.
If you can pick anybody to make a cameo in season 2, who would you pick?
Let me tell you who I wouldn't pick. First, Ludacris. I don't want to see Ludacris on TV ever again. I just don't. And I see that that's coming, and it's going to be over the top, and I just don't want to see it at all. Period. It's good in movies. I don't want to see it on television. So sorry. There was that. If I could pick anybody who could make a cameo in season 2, it's a very interesting question. Away from all the obvious people, who do I feel like can add to it? Jeez.
Who's an obvious version? Who's obvious that you?
Obvious that I would think is obvious. Drake, Kanye.
I don't think so. They don't fit into that whole.
Nobody fits into that. Like we saw Juicy J on stage, bro.
Right.
We saw Rita Ora. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we saw Courtney Love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not Gladys Knight, but Patti LaBelle.
Yeah.
Was on it. So it's like nobody really fits. I can just see. I would love to see Diddy on the show. That's how I would love to see make a cameo. I would love to see Diddy. Maybe as the head of like a rival label. Instead of has like his own label like Black Umbrella, right? Instead of 300.
Yeah.
For that situation, somebody who can add to this, not as like a main role all the time.
Right.
I don't want to see Bow Wow on it either. Sorry.
Bow Wow's not gonna be on it. He doesn't like the show. He thinks it's all stereotypical. So
man, tell him to shut up, man.
He's gonna stick to the CSI.
All right, well, good for him. But who would you like to see?
Man, I've been thinking about it the whole time. Like,
I want to see. Yeah, Diddy's my vote.
Man, I'm trying to blank, to be honest with you. I'm just not thinking of anybody. I don't know, maybe somebody like old school, like Lionel Richie or something. Like I feel like like having like a Jamal Lionel Richie session or something. Some of that caliber would be cool. That's just off the dome. If I really think about it, I'd probably come up with a
Ooh, you know who I can see be on the show? Who I want to see on the show?
Go ahead.
John Bellion. I would want to see John Bellion on the show as a writer, right? I would want him to be like not being himself though, but as being like a character. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody who could write for the show, just because he's like a very interesting dude. That's what I would love to see on the show. John Bellion. Right.
Okay. Well, we just reviewed Empire Season 1.
Woo!
We discussed it. There was a lot going on. There's a soundtrack, which also sold 130 first week.
That's dope, man. Congratulations. Shout out to them for doing that. I may not agree with the show, the content of the show, man, but they're definitely
they've sold over 1 million singles. You know,
that's crazy
among everything. So obviously, you know, that's working, and it gives us minimal commercial breaks. Thank you for that.
Yes, that's dope.
So let us know what your thoughts on Empire is. Do you think it's, you know, just a stereotypical show? Are you enjoying it? Some of the questions that we asked, you know, who would you want to see cameo on it? What are your lingering questions following the season 1 finale, like going into season 2? And what else are you looking forward to in season 2? Also, why do we gotta wait till January? Why can't we just get, you know, season 2 sooner than that?
The crazy thing is, they left out on a really, really, really good note, and they can now wait till January. You know what I'm saying? So that's really dope.
Yeah, and that's interesting. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter at SermonsDomain.
At Evo Marsupials.
Once again, we want to hear your comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel.
You gotta leave us out on Drip Drop.
I was about to. Great, best song of 2015. Alright. She did love the spotlight, bro.